Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful, snowy Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. Believe it or not, everyone, snow is quite rare in this part of Canada, so it's exciting times here. I hope everybody has had a great start to their week. I hope you're all healthy, strong, and staying positive. Students, in today's class, we are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 1. We're looking for those Band 9 strategies, and yes, we will be doing some practice with some of our viewers and looking for those Band 9 responses, and I will be giving you advice on just how to do that. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderator. Hi, Jaineel Khyber, Pushpendra, Amu. Nice to see many of our members in the class today. Alyar, Mohinabonu, Simran, Rosari. Nice to see many viewers as well. Students, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Check us out there. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. We will be using our academic website today for our chat interface. Our academic IELTS website looks like this with the blue background. You can click this big red button to join our premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it doesn't cost very much at all. We keep our prices very, very low. Our goal is to help many, many students like you around the world succeed in their next IELTS exam. So click that big red button to join our premium package there. For the general IELTS, look for this website here. And again, you can click this big red button right there to join our premium package. Students, to get our apps, search for Academic IELTS Help in your App Store or General IELTS Help in your App Store. These apps will link to our websites. And you can also follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help, where we've got lots of videos for vocabulary, idioms. We do little speaking questions now as well, so lots and lots of great help for you there. And if you have questions, just send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. You can even buy our exam books from Amazon. Look for the title AE Helps Academic IELTS or GE Helps General IELTS. And then if you want, you can just get the exams and work on those exams. Students, we've got lots and lots of classes, exciting times ahead as we say goodbye to 2021 and look ahead to 2022. So we've got a full week of live classes. We've got speaking part 2 and part 3 tomorrow. We'll have reading. We'll have some listening this week as well. Task 1 writing, so lots to look forward to. Now, let's get into some IELTS speaking. Students, this is IELTS Speaking Part 1. And don't just listen to me, but make sure to speak and repeat. Okay, so speak and repeat. Copy my intonation, copy my pronunciation. I speak with a West Coast North American style of English. What that means is a lot of the Hollywood movies that you watch that are coming out of Los Angeles, or many of them come out of Vancouver and Victoria, where I'm residing. The type of English you hear a lot of the actors use that you have grown to like and love, they use very similar style of English as what I'm using. It's a very, let's say, easy to understand kind of English. A lot of people are familiar with it around the world. It's a crisp, clean style of English. So it's a good dialect of English to practice and to get used to. All right. And I see Khyber is congratulating Sandhu. Sundu, I see that you got a good score in your IELTS exam, if I'm not mistaken. Send me an email with a testimonial. We love getting our students' testimonials. Okay, everyone, let's get into some IELTS speaking. So the examiners are trained with a very specific set of questions. Now, the examiners have a lot of different questions to choose from, so don't try to predict what your next IELTS exam questions are going to be, okay? It's basically impossible, all right? It's kind of like trying to win the lottery. There are hundreds of thousands of different questions that are possible. IELTS keeps writing new questions, creating new ways of asking old questions. So you can't predict what's going to be on your IELTS exam, okay? So don't try to predict your IELTS exam questions. Instead, focus on strategy. Okay, so focus on strategy of Band 9. Welcome Anarchy, Jahongir, Abdul Jafar. Nice to see more students in our general English class. So students, focus on strategy, okay? Strategy number 1, okay? Always give a full sentence answer plus often include an explanation and an example. Okay, so just about every question, especially where it's obvious that it needs an explanation, right? Like, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is green because it matches the color of my eyes. As you can see, I'm wearing some green clothes right now. It's that kind of a full sentence answer, okay? So if you just say, my favorite color is green, the other person looks at you and goes, okay, is there a reason, right? So don't get the examiner thinking that way. So don't get them thinking like, okay, and what's the reason, right? They actually have why in brackets. I wonder if we have that today. Yeah, you can see it here. So on their question sheet in brackets, they often have this why question, right? And they will ask it. So they'll be like, why? If you can answer that before they ask you the why, that's the best, okay? Or if you hear it with the question, then definitely answer why, right? Definitely give the reason, okay? All right, students, so you go to your IELTS exam 1 hour early, you get confident, you get comfortable, you're meant to be there, you've practiced, you speak English, do your best, okay? You are you, just do yourself, okay? And don't worry about the examiner, right? The examiner is them, they do them, all right? Don't worry about them. All right, so you do you. And you get there an hour early, you practice with some other candidates who are there. Ask them, hey, I'm here for my IELTS. Are you here for your IELTS? Yes, I am. Would you like to practice a little bit of speaking before we go in? I think it would be really helpful. Sure, yeah, I think that sounds great. Thanks for asking. Let's do it. Okay, so practice with other candidates and get yourself warmed up. Don't go in there stone cold, all right? Get yourself warmed up. And then you register 20 minutes before your speaking interview starts. Speak English the whole time, okay? And then your examiner will call you in. You're in a private room. You're wearing masks. It's still COVID. Practice with a mask on. So you're in a private room, and the examiner will be either a man or a woman dressed professionally. They are trained, and they are there to do a job, and they will begin by saying, welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. We are currently conducting this exam in Sydney, Australia. The time right now is 15 o'clock. This is candidate number 75931. Now we shall begin. May I see your identification? Start with a nice full sentence answer right away. Okay, so you want to give a nice full sentence answer immediately. So, yes, of course. Here is my ID. I used this to register. Please take a look. All right, so right away, show your English. Repeat after me, everyone. May I see your identification? Yes, of course. Here's my ID. I use this to register. Please take a look. Students, when you're practicing at home, make sure you practice questions and answers. Okay. So practice the questions as well, not just the answers. That will help you to understand your communication from both sides. Okay, it's useful. All right. Okay. Here we go. Abdi, I see your question about the premium package. Just send me an email, okay, and I'll answer that for you, or one of my colleagues will. All right. El Murad Cheek says, yes, gladly, here's my ID with my credentials. Please have a look. El Murad Cheek. Yeah, that works. Okay. Amrinder says, sure, here's my passport that I used for this IELTS registration a few weeks earlier. Please have a look. Amrinder, good. Okay, watch your articles. Kyber says, yes, of course, here's my passport, which I used for registration online. Please have a look. Notice, viewers, that there are so many different ways to answer this question in a nice full sentence answer using an adjective clause, like here's my passport, which I used for registration, showing grammatical range and accuracy right away, which is great. Mian says, gladly, this is the ID that I used for registration a couple of weeks ago. Please have a look. Okay, that would be your personal ID, me. If you're using your passport, it's good to say, here's my passport. Be specific. Okay, that's another important tip for today, is be specific. Okay, if you're showing your passport, don't say here's my ID, say here's my passport. If you're showing an ID like your national ID card or your birth certificate or your driver's license, then make sure that you're saying that. Students, whatever ID you show them, it has to be the same one that you used for registration. If it's not, they will tell you to leave or show the one that you used for registration. Okay? Abdul Jafar is saying, can I put can instead of may there? Like, may I see your passport? Can I see your passport? Yeah, both. Abdul Jafar, sure. There's no difference there. They usually say may. May is a little bit more polite than saying, can I see your passport? So the examiner is polite, and they will say, may I see your passport in most cases. Okay, and then once you show your passport, their next question immediately is, what is your full name? Okay, and give your full name. And again, use a full sentence answer. You have to be smooth and fluent when you're doing this, all right? So smooth and fluent. All right, my given names are Thomas, Jeffrey, and my surname is Sampson, as you can see in my passport or on my ID. Okay, in my passport, because your passport's a little book. On my ID, because your ID is usually just a little card. It's not in your ID, but it's on your ID. It's a kind of a tricky difference there. So it's in my passport, it's on my ID. So my given names are Thomas, Jeffrey, and my surname is Sampson, as you can see on my ID. Please just call me Tom for short. Okay, I'm just making up this name as an example. I'm using the short form. It's not a nickname. It's a short form of Thomas. Tom, okay? So again, repeat after me. What is your full name? My given names are Thomas, Jeffrey, and my surname is Sampson, as you can see on my ID. Please just call me Tom for short. Okay, Tom, for part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. All right, and then they continue with the next question. Simran says, my name is Simran. Please call me Simran, and is well mentioned on my passport. Simran, that's a bit weird to say it's well mentioned on my passport. Okay, I wouldn't use that if I were you. And make sure you give your full name, Simran. So maybe for the chat you're keeping it private, but definitely say your full name. The question is, what is your full name, not what's your name. Okay, what's your name means I'm your buddy and I just want to know your first name. Okay. Rosari says, my complete name is Rosari as it is written in my passport. Everyone usually calls me Rosa. Okay. All right, Rosa looks like a short form of Rosari, so you can say everyone just calls me Rosa for short. Okay, Cass says, my given names are Cassandra, Erica, and my family name is Hermoso. Please just call me Cass for short. Again, Cassandra, Cass is short for Cassandra. So it's good to say Cass for short because that's often what a native English speaker will say when they're using a short form of their name. Now, also, Cassandra, watch your plurals. Okay, my given names are Cassandra, Eric. Okay, and then they'll ask another question like, where do you live? Okay, give a nice full sentence answer. And again, just to remind your students, give details. All right, so where do you live? Okay, I live in downtown Vancouver, near Stanley Park, in a high-rise building on the 4th floor in a bachelor suite. By myself. Okay. All right. So again, be specific. Give a full sentence answer. Repeat after me. Where do you live? I live in downtown Vancouver near Stanley Park in a high-rise building on the 4th floor in a bachelor suite by myself. That would be considered a full sentence answer. So I'm giving some broad description, Vancouver, Stanley Park, okay? And then I'm giving a specific answer, 4th floor, bachelor suite by myself. All right, so be specific. All right. Jazz, if you have questions about writing, this is a speaking class, so just send us an email, okay, and we'll help you out. Kyber says, I've been residing in a 3-bedroom apartment in Karte now, which is the heart of Kabul, with my 2 brothers and parents since 2018. Kyber, that's really good. We don't say 3 bedrooms apartment, just say 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom is the adjective, so you hyphenate it, and it's 3-bedroom apartment. Okay, tricky, I know. Irfan says, I reside in the heart of Kolkata, the capital of the state of West Bengal, with my parents in a 2-story apartment. Okay, very good, Irfan. A couple of small mistakes, but overall very good. All right. And so, what do you like about your home? There's our next question. Okay, so it's conversation style in the IELTS, and you want to keep it rolling. Okay, that means you want to keep speaking smoothly, connecting. So, what do you like about your home? I love that my apartment, or if you're British or Australian, you can say flat, doesn't matter. I love that my apartment is just a stone's throw away from Stanley Park, where I can go for a morning jog and enjoy the fresh air and beautiful scenery. Also, there are a lot of shops nearby so I don't need to do much driving. All right. So again, nice and fluent. And then you can include an example. Just before this exam, I went for a walk in the park to decompress. Okay, it means to kind of just let stress out and get focused, all right? So here we go, everyone. Repeat after me. What do you like about your home? I love that my apartment is just a stone's throw away from Stanley Park, where I can go for a morning jog and enjoy the fresh air and beautiful scenery. Also, there are a lot of shops nearby, so I don't need to do much driving. Just before this exam, I went for a walk in the park to decompress. Okay, sure. So, just a stone's throw away means very close by. Okay, you can throw a stone. It's obviously not that far away. Okay, a stone's throw away. Throw away. Pick up new vocabulary from these classes as well. This is an idiom, obviously. Don't throw stones to see how far you can walk. That would be kind of weird, and it could be dangerous, especially if you're in a city. Hey, let's see how far I can walk. There goes the stone. Ooh, good. I'm going that way. All right, so a stone's throw away means very close by. All right. So remember language and vocabulary. Rosario says, the part I love most is my bedroom because it's comfortable for me and I spend time there studying, working, and sleeping. Abdul Jafar says, I live in Skent near Olmakil region. It's very quiet for living. So I enjoy that I can study and work without distractions. Okay, so finish with your explanation, Abdul Jafar. Ali Ashraf says, I've been living here for nearly 6 years now. I know that may not seem like much time to many people, but it means that I've been living here since I was 7 years old. So many years, uncountable memories. Okay, Ali. So you have lots of pleasant memories. Maybe that's what you really like about it. Okay. Bandita says, I really like the location of my apartment. It's very near to the city center, which makes it accessible for me for all kinds of basic needs like school, hospitals, and also a beautiful garden nearby for a daily walk. Okay, very good. All right, students. Very, very good. Yeah, Abdul Jafar, you can say on foot instead of by walking. Okay, so by walking and on foot means the same. So students, we're going to do a little bit of speaking with each other. I'm going to take some volunteers to practice some more Part 1 questions, and this is how we do it. Okay, so to volunteer to speak with me for these next questions, this is what you have to do. Okay, you have to follow these steps. So first of all, if you haven't done this yet, register a free or a paid account at aehelp.com. This is our IELTS web portal for academic IELTS. And then you log into your My Student account. You click on Student Partner Speaking. This is a really, really important step here, students. Enable your microphone and your speakers on your browser. Test them. Make sure they work. Okay? Keep the window open. Don't close it. And then message me in the chat. Not in the class, but actually message me in the chat. Click on that little blue envelope. Okay? I'll even include that this time so it's clear. Blue envelope. Don't worry if you're confused right now. I will show you exactly how to do this. So click on the little blue envelope, okay, and then say, I want to volunteer. And then I'll see that you're trying to volunteer and we'll connect. Okay, so let me show you this. So here is our General IELTS website. You want the academic one, which is this one with the blue background. Again, you can try it for free by clicking on this green button, Try Demo, and you can use the chat function with that. Or you can get our full Premium IELTS with the red button, up to you. I think it's worth getting the full Premium IELTS because it doesn't cost a lot. and you get tons of help. And then once you do that, you have this My Student account that's right up there at the very, very top near the flags. Okay, the flags are for translating the website. Once you log in, you get a tour. We can end that tour for now. You get computer-based practice exams, lesson videos. By the way, students, in the lesson videos, in the speaking lesson videos, so here's the speaking lesson videos. We have like a lot. So we have 62 lesson videos now. And this is our most recent one here.
Welcome to a very special
and
IELTS
in this most recent
lesson.
one, I'm not going to
will
play
see
this
a
because
band 8 level.
you can't handle all of them. But in this one, you actually have like a POV style, like a speaking practice when you check out this video. Okay, so I'm not going to play the video because it's going to mess with the system, too many things going on. But yeah, you want to check that out, okay? So check out these last two. They're like speaking practice. So you get face-to-face speaking practice with me, okay? All right, so you've got all these lesson videos, and let me hop back up here. Okay, what we're using right now is this function right here, the student partner speaking, so that blue one. The yellow one is if you want to book like a full speaking interview with me. Click this blue student partner speaking one for now, okay? That's what we're using, okay? Then you have to click this I accept start speaking. It means that you're going to use this service politely. You're going to speak politely to each other. And then you get into this speaking interface here, and I can already see that we have my Wand, Hasna, Usman, Vipin, Pushpendra, Bandita. And once you're in here, click on the little blue envelope. I can see that Me has just clicked on that blue envelope to practice for speaking. So let's contact Me, and then we'll try to connect with Me, and you'll see how this works. Okay, so here we go. Me was the very first one I saw, so we're going to go with Me for today. Okay, so here's Me, and Me says, may I volunteer? Yes, of course. Whoa, typing accuracy today. Yes, of course. Are you ready, Me? Okay, so we're going to reach out to Me, and then I can ask her a question. You're going to hear Me as well. Okay, so Me says, yes, sir. All right, so now I can call Me.
Hello.
Hi, Me. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Me. Thank you for being the first volunteer for today.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Me. And is your week going so good so far?
Sorry?
Is your week going good so far?
Yeah, it's great. Nothing special, just staying at home.
Are you excited about the New Year's 2022 coming up?
Yeah, I hope that it will be better.
I hope so too. I hope so too. These last few years have been a bit of a pain with the pandemic, obviously. Okay, Me. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'll analyze your answer, and then I'll give you some feedback. Does that sound good?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay. So here we go. Okay, let's talk about toys. How often do you buy a toy?
I buy toys more often than not, as I live with my niece. She's only 3 years old, and I buy her toys once or twice a month. Last week I bought her a new doll.
Okay. As she is 2 years old, I buy her toys. Did you say once or twice a week?
Yeah, once or twice a month.
Oh, twice a month. Okay, yeah, that's you said month. That's right. Okay. And last week, I bought her a doll. Right? That's what you said, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. It's tough to keep it all in mind while typing at the same time. But that was great. Okay, so that was really good. Me, obviously you're learning from these lessons. I know you're a member of our channel and you're really paying attention to these classes. You've practiced before. I can tell your confidence has really improved. So now when you did this, I could tell that you're really confident. You're like, okay, I got this. So that was great. Confidence is very important for a higher band score. And I could tell that your confidence each time is better and better. So that's fantastic. Okay. Me, that would be like a band 8.5 to 9 answer. There's really not a lot that I can criticize about your response because it's great communication, it's great English, okay? And even though, you have a slight accent, it doesn't matter. You can absolutely get a band 9 even with an accent as long as all of the words that you're using are clear, okay? So I'll tell you what you did really well because there were a few different elements that you did really well. So I asked you, how often do you buy a toy? You said, I buy toys more often than not. If I want to be really picky, I would replace the word buy with purchase, right? The verb buy is a very common verb, and most people at high levels of English would know at least one synonym for buy. So purchase. So I purchase toys more often than not. I love that you use that expression more often than not. Okay, it's a very nice use of that expression in this case. Right away I can tell that you frequently buy toys. So I purchase toys more often than not. And then you went into an immediate explanation. As I live with my niece, and I believe you said, and she is 2 years old. So you're using quantitative language, which is brilliant because I can see your 2-year-old niece. So I can see this small toddler, right? And toddlers get lots of toys. We probably get more toys at that age than any other age because that's when we start to play with toys. So people love buying toys for 2-year-olds. So that was very clear. And then you said, I buy her toys once or twice a month, which again is nice quantitative language. It's numbers, it's clarity. And then you went into a beautiful and quick, short example. You said, last week I bought her a doll. So lots of visual information there as well. So fantastic, okay? And I would, you keep answering like that, you'll get a band 9, okay? So, so I'm just going to read the question, repeat your answer, and then you can just repeat the answer, okay? Just the one slight nitpicky upgrade here is the purchase toys, okay? So, how often do you buy a toy? I purchase toys more often than not. As I live with my niece and she is 2 years old, I buy her toys once or twice a month. Last week, I bought her a doll. How often do you buy a toy?
I purchase toys more often than not as I live with my niece and she's 2 years old. I buy her toys once or twice a month. Last week, I bought her a doll.
Okay, very good. Yeah, nice, perfect. All right, me, that's really, really good. Thank you for volunteering and thank you for showing everybody what it takes to give or to get a nice high band score. That's awesome. Keep up the good studies.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, me.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, so that was me. Everybody give me a clap for being the first one to volunteer today. She did a fantastic job. Thank you, me. Keep up the good work. Okay, so that was me. All right, let's take another volunteer. So let's take my wand. Let's see if my wand is in here right now. So my wand says, hi, Master. Oh, yeah, by the way, I appear as Master in the list of words. It's just because of the way we set that up when we did the programming. So, hi, Master. May I be the next volunteer? My wand. Sure. Let's see if my wand's ready. Are you ready? Okay. So let's ask another question from my wand. I'm just going to kind of take students randomly. I see there's lots of volunteers, which is great. Okay. I do give a little bit of advantage to some of our members because they're here regularly, of course. Let's see if my wand is ready. So my wand, I'm reaching out to you. Just send me a text saying, yes, I'm ready, or sure. And that way I know that you haven't left for a coffee break or you're not driving. Everyone, please, please, please do not use this if you are driving or doing something that needs your attention, okay? All right, my wand, here we go. Hi, Hi, Maiwand. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. Okay, Maiwand. Thanks for volunteering. May I ask, where are you calling from?
At the moment, I'm calling from Turkey.
Okay, you're in Turkey. Which city in Turkey?
I have been living in Trabzon since 2016.
Okay, good. Awesome. All right. I hear there's a lot of social change going on in Turkey these days with the changing of the value of the Turkish lira and inflation. So it's quite an interesting time in Turkey from what I hear right now. Okay. All right, my one. Let's get into a task one question here, or sorry, a part one question, I should say. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Where is a good place to buy toys?
When I was a child, I used to buy toys for a supermarket. It was much cheaper than a shop that were close to our apartment. And at the moment, whenever my niece want to buy tools, I recommend that shop, that supermarket.
Okay. Just give me one moment. All right. So not bad. Okay, not bad. You would probably get a band 6 to 6.5 for sure. Okay. I would probably give you a 6.5, but I think some examiners would probably give you a 6. Okay. And it's a little bit of a risky answer, the answer that you're giving, because it's inverted. Do you know what I mean by saying that your answer is inverted?
Actually, I don't know. Would you like
Okay.
to explain?
I will definitely explain it. Yeah, it's a fair response. So by inverted, what you're doing is that you're not actually answering the question at the start. So you answered the question that I asked you at the end, not at the start. Okay, and you want to be really careful with that. You always want to answer the question at the beginning and then give an explanation, example, and further clarity. So the question is, where is a good place to buy toys? Okay, the is means it's the present tense, like now. Where is a good place to buy toys? Is that clear?
It is. It is.
Okay, and so when you gave your answer, you started by saying, well, when I was a child. And as soon as you say that, because the examiner doesn't know you, they don't know your actual skill level, especially early on in part one, so they don't know your style of speaking. And here the examiner is thinking, okay, maybe this candidate misunderstood my question and thought I asked them where was a good place to buy toys when you were a child, right? So you're talking past tense, but my question is present tense. And that's dangerous because if you keep talking, the examiner might interrupt you because they might think that you misunderstood the question, so they just go to the next question. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so instead what you want to do is you want to answer the question first and then you can go into an explanation. So I would actually switch the order of the information here so that you're much safer and you get a better score. Okay, so what I would do is, well, the supermarket near my home is a great place to buy toys for cheap. This is where I went as a child to purchase my toys, and now I recommend my niece to go there. She loves it. There is a great selection, and she bought a dollhouse there last week. Okay, so notice how I changed just the order of the question to answer it directly right away and then explain that I went there as a child because it was cheap and then say that it was my niece. Does that make sense?
It does, and appreciate for your explanation.
Okay, it's a very common mistake. It's not really a mistake in everyday communication, but on the IELTS for a good band score or for good communication, it is considered a mistake to invert your answers. Okay, so be more direct. Answer the question directly right away. I'm going to read the question, the answer, and then repeat after me, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so where is a good place to buy toys? Well, the supermarket near my home is a great place to buy toys for cheap. This is where I went as a child to purchase my toys. Now I recommend my niece to go there. She loves it. There's a great selection, and she bought a dollhouse there just last week. Where's a good place to buy toys?
Well, the supermarket near my home is a great place to buy toys for cheap. This is where I went to as a child to purchase my toys, and now I recommend my niece to go there. She loves it. There's a great selection, and she bought a doll house there last week.
Much better. Okay, so that's much clearer, much more direct. And now you're on your way to a higher band score, like a 7.5, even an 8, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your everything.
You're very, very welcome. Keep up the practice and make sure to focus on the order of your information, okay?
Sure. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, my one. Have an awesome day. Okay, everyone. So that was my one. Give my one a bit of an applause there. He did a really good job, okay? So that was very, very good. All right, let's see if Hasna is available. I can see that Hasna is messaging me. I want to volunteer. Can I be after me? Okay, well, you can't be after me anymore, but you can be after my one, Hasna. So let's see if you are there. Okay, so are you ready, Hasna? All right, let's see if Hasna is ready. Here. And students, pay attention to everybody's corrections because oftentimes candidates make the same mistakes, okay? Hi, Hasna.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. Thank you, Hasna. All right, Hasna, I'm glad that we could connect. So here's an interesting question to start you off, Hasna. Do you have a New Year's resolution?
Eventually, yes. I want to enter university.
That is a superb New Year's resolution. So for all of those who are not aware, and Hasna, it was very good. I was wondering, are you going to know what that means or not? And then you did. That was really good. A New Year's resolution means it's some kind of a change or goal that you look forward to in the new year. So Hasna said that her goal is university. What are you planning to study, Hasna, in university?
I am planning to study human nutrition.
Sorry, I couldn't catch the last part. Human?
Nutrition.
Nutritionist. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, we can definitely use a lot of nutritionists in the world today. Okay, Hasna, so I am going to ask you a question. Please give me a nice full sentence answer, and then I'll give you some feedback. Does that sound good?
Of course.
All right. Okay, here we go. So, what was your favorite childhood toy?
I would say my favorite childhood toy is a doll. It's a baby doll that my parents gave to me after I accomplished some tasks in reading, and they awarded me a doll as a gift. I still remember it clearly because my mom used to make some clothes for the doll, and I used to dress her up. As I grew up, I gave the doll to my cousin, and she plays with it.
Okay. All right. Okay, Hasna. So, not bad, not bad. All right. So I would say that's easily a 6.5. However, I think your speaking is better than that. So I think that you should be able to get a 7.5. You have to focus a little bit more on the content of what you're saying. I could tell in the beginning that you actually, it sounds to me like you weren't clear on what your favorite childhood toy actually was, and it took you a minute to maybe think of something. Yeah, not all of us can remember our favorite childhood toy, and often, many people have several toys that they really liked as a child as well. So this is where you can definitely start by saying something like, oh, I'm not sure. I had a lot of favorite toys over the years. Just a moment, and I'll think of one. Okay, so it's communication. And just like in the real world, if I ask you this question, you would probably in honesty say that, if you had lots of favorite toys, or if you can't remember it, then you'd say, oh, just a sec, right? So I suppose a toy that I really, just a second there. So a toy that I really cherished over the years was a rag doll that my parents got me around the age of 7. Okay, let's start with that. Now, when you gave your answer, you told me why your parents gave you the toy. You told me what happened with that toy, but you didn't actually explain why it was your favorite toy. Okay, so you want to make sure, Hasna, that your explanations are logical to the question. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Why was it your favorite toy? So why was this doll your favorite toy?
I would say it is my favorite toy because it has a blonde hair and the eye color was blue and the fingers were so tiny and I like to pinch it.
Okay, sure. All right, so I loved its blonde hair and blue eyes and its tiny little fingers,
Yes.
which I liked to pinch when I felt nervous. Okay, sure, so we can stop there. Now that's very original, and now you're giving me a very direct answer of why you liked this toy, right? So be really careful with the explanation. This is kind of like what I was saying to my one about changing the order of the information. So when you get into those higher band scores for IELTS, like band 7, 8, 9, the content of what you're saying becomes really important. So the order of the information becomes very important. The quality or the accuracy of your explanation becomes very important, okay? And then when that happens, when you have the correct order, when you have the right explanation, then you produce the right kinds of grammar and you produce the right kinds of vocabulary, sorry, vocabulary as well, okay? So let me read this one more time, okay? And then I'll ask you the question, then you can repeat after me. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay. So what was your favorite childhood toy? Oh, I'm not sure. I had a lot of favorite toys over the years. Just a moment. I'll think of one. I suppose a toy that I really cherished over the years was a rag doll. My parents got me around the age of 7. It was my favorite because I loved its blonde hair and blue eyes and its tiny little fingers, which I liked to pinch when I felt nervous. What was your favorite childhood toy?
Well, I'm not sure because I have a lot of favorite toys over the years. Let me think for a moment. A toy that I cherished over the years was a red doll given my parents as a gift. It was a doll with blonde hair and blue eyes, and the fingers were small, and I like to pinch it whenever I am stressed.
Okay, that was good. Just remember to say, it was my favorite, or I loved this toy. So emphasize the focus of the question, right? You missed that part, but just make sure that you're always focusing on the target of the question. So it was my favorite because it had blonde hair and blue eyes, and I liked its tiny little fingers, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Your English is improving a lot, Hasna. So thank you for volunteering. Keep it up. You're getting much, much better. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, everybody, give Hasna a round of applause. She did a great job. That was really good, Hasna. Thank you. All right, everyone. Let's take another volunteer. So let me kind of go to the bottom of the list here. Let's go with Abdul. Okay, so Abdul, yes. Are you ready? So let's see if we can reach out to Abdul for another question. And thank you, students and members, for applauding each other. Okay, it's very brave to volunteer for these live classes and share your English with the rest of the world. All right, so thank you for that. Okay, so Abdul says he is ready. Let me reach out to Abdul. Hello, Abdul. I can hear that you picked up, but I cannot hear your voice. Abdul, make sure that your microphone is enabled in your browser. Okay. So always make sure to enable the microphone. All right, Abdul, check your system. So test it out with another student, maybe after class, see if it works. And then come back tomorrow. I'll be doing some more of these, and you can volunteer again, and I'll look for you. Okay, Abdul? I'm going to reach out to somebody else. All right, Abdul. Okay, again, everybody, so make sure you check your system. Okay, so let's try Rupinder. Maybe we can get a hold of Rupinder. Okay. Yes, Rupinder, are you ready? All right. So sometimes I'm going from the top, sometimes from the bottom, students. If I miss you this class, I'll look for you next class. So Bandita, tomorrow we've got 2 more coming up. I'll definitely catch you then if I don't catch you today. All right, so just keep sending me messages in these classes, okay? So let's see if Rupinder is ready. It's hard to guess who I'll be able to get a hold of, who's got their system set up right. So hang in there, okay? All right. Rupinder, just sending you a message there, seeing if you're ready. I don't see any response from you yet. So I'm not sure if there's a lag there. Yeah, Marak, this is free. So Marak is asking, is this free? Yeah, it absolutely is free. And this is, by the way, a completely free service on our website. So anybody can go on our websites and use this for 100% free. You can use it through the free version of our course. Okay. All right. So I'm not getting a response from Rupinder. So I'm not sure if Rupinder is still here. Let's see if Suman is here. Okay, Suman, would you like to volunteer? All right, and it's okay to change your mind, no pressure. So if somebody is like, oh, I thought I wanted to do it, but I've changed my mind, that's okay, no pressure, okay? This isn't meant to be torture, it's meant to be kind of fun and a learning process for everyone. So, okay, so Suman says yes, I guess. Okay, Suman. All right, and it's a great way to build confidence. Hi, Suman. Suman, can you hear me? I can hear that you picked up. It sounds to me like you're there. Make sure that you have your microphone enabled, Suman. I can't hear you. but it definitely sounds like you picked up because I hear a little bit of fuzz. You have to make sure that you enable your microphone. Okay, so I think Suman just left and is checking their system. So again, students, make sure to enable. That's the one step that a lot of students forget, is enabling their microphone on their browser. Okay, all right, let's try Baljit. Okay, Baljit wants to go after Miwan. All right, Baljit, are you ready? I think I've spoken with Baljit before, so let's see if we can connect with Baljit. All right. So Baljit is a longtime member as well, and Baljit is ready. So let's connect with Baljit. Hi, Baljit.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you. Baljit, can I ask you to mute YouTube just so we're not getting feedback?
Yes, sir, I did that.
Okay, yeah, I can hear it now. Perfect. Awesome, Baljit. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, sir.
Awesome. I'm happy that we're able to connect. All right, Baljit. So I am going to ask you another IELTS question about toys. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
All right. If you want to use a kind of natural expression there, you can say, I'm ready as I'll ever be. So are you ready,
Okay.
Baljit?
Yes, sir, I'm ready as ever be.
As I'll ever be. Yes, I will, as I'll ever be.
As I'll ever be. Okay, sir.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so we'll go with this one here. If you could make any toy, what would you create?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Please allow me a moment. I think I would love to create an electronic toy, which would be about something that would lighten up some LEDs, because I'm a student of electrical engineering. So that would be like some kind of intervention of electronic items, as well as some playable things. So with this toy, child can play with the he can do fun with the LEDs. So that would be my toy for anyone.
Okay. All right. Not bad, not bad. So, Baljit, your fluency is great. So you're able to talk, which is good. You have a high level of fluency. I would say band 7. However, you make quite a few grammar mistakes, grammatical mistakes in your speaking, and that would drop your score. Okay, so if you keep making grammar mistakes like that throughout your speaking, you're going to end up with about a 5.5. Some very strict examiners might give you a 5. Grammar mistakes are interesting because some examiners are very strict about the grammar mistakes, especially if they think that it makes communication confusing, so they drop the score. But I think that you should get a higher band score, and one way to do that, Balji, just keep your answer simpler. Okay, you're overcomplicating your answer. All right, so keep the answer simpler. All right. So I think you went into too much detail about being a student of electrical engineering and working with LEDs, and so you started to kind of use a lot of awkward English. I still understood what you were saying, you know, why you're making this toy. The other mistake was that you didn't actually reflect the conditional. Okay, so reflect the grammar of the question. And that will also help you to avoid grammar mistakes. Okay, so you started really well. I loved your lead-in because I thought that was very appropriate. So it is an interesting question, right? Most people don't ask You know, like if you could make a toy, what would that be? Oh, okay. It's not something people ask me, right? So you said, oh, that's an interesting question. Please allow me a moment. I think that was a very good leading expression. It suits this question. It fits with this question. And then to buy yourself even more time and to make your grammar more accurate, start with the grammar of the question. So here it's if you could make any toy. Okay, so given the chance to create a toy, I would make an electronic robot with lots of LEDs because I'm a student of electrical engineering, and this could be a fun project for school. After making it, I could give it to my cousins to play with. Okay, so simpler, right? So I'm just taking a lot of what you said and just simplifying it. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what you want to do. Let me read the question, the answer. I'll ask you the question again and then repeat, and you'll see like it's simpler. And even my answer is a bit complex. Like you could make it even simpler if you wanted to, but that's the right direction. Okay. So here's the question again. If you could make any toy, what would you create? Oh, that's an interesting question. Please allow me a moment. Given the chance, I would create a, sorry, just a second. Okay, so here we go. Oh, that's an interesting question. Please allow me a moment. Given the chance to create a toy, I would make an electronic robot with lots of LEDs because I'm a student of electrical engineering and this could be a fun project for school. After making it, I could give it to my cousins to play with. Okay, so if you could make any toy, what would you create?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Please allow me a moment. Uh, if it's given, I would love to make an electronic robot with lots of LEDs, and it would be a fun project for my school as I'm an electrical engineering student, and I would give it to my uh, nephew for just for the playing.
Much better. Okay, that was much better. So, and I could tell that you weren't just reading, but you're actually thinking about the information and putting it together. So that was way better, Baljit. So that was like the difference between a 5, 5.5, all the way up to like a 7, 7.5 even. Okay, so much, much better. So that's what you want to do. So don't overcomplicate, okay? When you're practicing at home, really just think about answer, quick explanation, quick example, and then stop, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, use words like because. So use these connectives like because to force that quick example, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, Baljit, keep up the good studies and you'll get there for sure, okay? Practice lots of speaking and get lots of feedback, okay?
Okay, sir. Last time I got 6.5, sir,
Yeah, so
with your help.
oh, that's fantastic, right? So yeah, and the scores can jump around. So the goal is to do well overall, right? And overall, you want to push your score high. I honestly think, Baljit, that you should be able to get even a 7 or a 7.5 as long as you're approaching it with the right strategy, okay?
Okay, sir. I'm revisiting the key strategies again.
Good, good. All right, everyone. So that was Baljit. Please give Baljit an applause and a thumbs up. Baljit, you're going to be the last volunteer for today, so thank you so much. That was fantastic.
You're welcome, sir. You are a great teacher, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so everyone, that was Baljit, and if you didn't have a chance to volunteer today, don't worry about it because we've got more speaking coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow at the same time, we will be doing speaking part 3, which of course is the more challenging part of the speaking interview, and that will follow after a speaking part 2 lesson with our members, okay? And if you liked this speaking interview, you can also book a full speaking interview practice with me on our website. by clicking this yellow button right here, the speaking interview practice. Okay, so that's a full 30-minute session with a complete speaking interview, including feedback and practice, a score estimate. So that's well worth it to do that before your IELTS exam. It could really help you bump up your score. So visit our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Click this big red button to join the premium package. And for general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com with this green background. That's it for this class, everyone. But again, I will be back tomorrow with more speaking. And then we've got lots more classes in the week. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got lots and lots of learning for you so that you can succeed in your education and life goals. Thank you, Carolina, for moderating the chat. That was fantastic. Thank you, members, for your support. Thank you, viewers. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria for now. I'll be back tomorrow. Much love to all of you, wherever you are in this incredible world of ours. Bye for now.